Nice. We're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the third live stream about Epoch 8 projects. This time we'll be talking about Ethereum Explorers with four amazing teams that are part of our Epoch and that are building in this direction. We have Ben from Circuitscan. We have Coffee from Bundlebear, Paulo from Blobscan, and Dosh from Block Scout. So super happy to talk with you guys. A lot to talk about, I think. A lot of exciting stuff that you're building. So let's get right into it. I would love to hear maybe first a quick round of intros. I'm going to start and then let's do a round and feel free to share a little bit about your projects. And if you want to share your screen and show us a bit of a demo of what your platforms do, feel free to do that. Let's just keep it short. Um, I'm Nico. I'm doing community at Octant. And well, Octant uses yield from staking and DeFi to fund ecosystems. In this epoch, we're funding Ethereum in many different categories, and we're now building V2 that basically enables other ecosystems to do the same, use staking or DeFi yield to stream it to their growth through grants programs or marketing or whatever, however they define it, and at the same time fund Ethereum through what we call the Ethereum Sustainability Fund. That is gonna look very similar to what we're doing here with Epoch 8. So yeah, super excited to be chatting. Maybe I will also do a very quick intro. If you, the allocation window to vote for these projects is officially open, so let me show you quickly how it's done, so you have it top of mind. Here, let's see. Let me put this up. When you go to octant.app, you can you will see this, and if you have your GLM locked, you will see it here on the left side. And if you want to start donating, you can go to the projects page, and here you will see all the different projects that are participating. Let's give the projects that are in this round a heart here. That's how you add them to your donation shopping cart. So let's do it here. Uh, well, let's do this. I'm missing one, but it's okay. It's not gonna be my official tally, so it should be good. And then once you select your projects, you just go to the shopping cart here on the top right, and you can move this slider to decide how much you want to withdraw for yourself and how much you want to donate. And the amount that you donate, you can also modify individually if you want, and it's going to be matched. So as you can see, this one just adds 1 ETH extra of donation, for example. So it's pretty good matching that we have here. So just wanted to share that quickly. And now I would love to hear from our projects. Ben, would you like to start?
Sure. Yeah. So I make circuitscan.org. If you've ever used Etherscan, you probably looked at like the source code for the contract. And if you've ever tried to look at one of those for a ZK app, it's just a bunch of numbers. So CircuitScan lets you see the source code that's like the Circom or Noir, and you can read it and check for, backdoors and everything. So let's go ahead and take a look. Share screen. Okay. Cool. So this is the CircuitScan homepage. You've got kind of like the main functions here: docs, blog. You can verify in the browser, or you can install the CLI and do it from your command line. Then we got the Telegram group, which I recommend if you're going to try and use it, get in there so you can talk to me. And then you also need an API key, but it's super easy. Just sign in with Ethereum, and you get one of those. And so I've got kind of like some big projects on there. I verified them to make sure that everything works, and then I've got the latest verified. So this just each time somebody adds. So we got Kevin in here today. He's getting his Worm protocol set up, and I'll get to that in a second. But kind of the simplest one, I've got a blog post here, and it's like this multiplier circuit. So this circuit, it just multiplies two numbers together, and I can do a quick demo of what kind of that looks like. So it was compiled in Circom, and it used a circuit scan random entropy setup, which means that there wasn't like a fancy potion second phase setup, but circuit scan just kind of puts random entropy in there, so you can deploy a circuit verifier, and it all goes really quick. So this one, you've got the proof generator on the right, and you've got the source code here, and then there's also the build output, so you can see exactly what Circom said. If there was any warnings, then it has kind of the other information that goes. There's like, if you did this yourself, this would be like 7 steps in your shell. But if you do it through Circuit Scan, it's very easy to deploy a circuit and just get it working with your contract. So the other thing you can do is you can do this proof generator in the browser. So you download the Z-key and WASM, and then you can generate a proof. And so this one, it shows that we got an error on line 24. So if we go back to the source code, you'll see that what line 24 is here, and it's asserting that all numbers are not 1, because when you multiply two numbers together, the output is the product of them, which is proving that it's not prime. So if they're 1, it's kind of like it doesn't really mean anything. So if we just change those, we can generate a proof. And you see 13 times 12 is 156. And when it went green there, that means it sent the view transaction to the RPC, and this proof actually verified against the contract that's on chain. So that's kind of like the basic thing that you'll do on Circuit Scan is you review the source code, and you can see GitHub matches. Anybody can submit these, and it does it on the back end. It checks to make sure that it's the same code. So kind of like the other thing you can do is, and Kevin just got this set up today for his Worm protocol, and he's got a GitHub action that installs the Circuit Scan CLI, and then it runs the command. And so he does his whole 15 million constraint circuit in a GitHub action. So he has it all in his CI. And so it took an hour and a half. It used like 150 gigabytes of memory. And now he doesn't have to even think about how to deploy his circuits and how to get it all set up when he makes changes. It's just, one click, and all those steps that SnarkJS has are all handled. And this does support Noir as well, but I haven't updated that in a while. So with your support, I want to, get the Noir support back up to 1.0 and make it work for everybody. I guess that's it. Was that a good time?
Yes, that was great. Sorry, my computer is being slow, but so my answers are going to be slow. But that was great, Ben. Thank you a lot for sharing. And Coffee, do you want to talk about Bundle Bear?
Nice. Great to meet everyone. My name is Kofi, and my project Bundle Bear is a dashboard that tracks the adoption of smart accounts. A little bit of context there. Smart accounts are smart contracts that can be used as wallets. And because they're smart accounts, they can be programmed with all sorts of superpowers that your regular EOA wallet doesn't have. Superpowers like being able to bundle a multiple step process. So you go to a DEX and you have to approve and swap, bundle that multiple step process into a single transaction, or being able to get your gas fee sponsored by the app that you're using and so on. And in the past year, in the past 2 years, a lot of new standards have launched that make it easier for builders to bring smart accounts to their users. So I'll just show you what the dashboard looks like. If see how the sharing screen scenario works. And share that. All right. So on the dashboard, you can view metrics around the standards I was talking about. There's ERC 437, which standardizes how different smart account solutions bundle all of the actions and sponsor gas fees. There's also EIP 7702, which is great. It allows you to upgrade your regular EO wallet into a smart account. So we can see a few numbers here. Like we can see that 2 million wallets so far have been upgraded to these smart accounts from being regular wallets. We can see how often they're transacting on different chains and what types of transactions that they're making. There's a leaderboard here where you can see, okay, all of these wallets that are being upgraded into smart accounts, where are they coming from? What apps are they using? And in the legitimate usage side, we can see MetaMask being high up in the rankings there. So, I mean, nowadays, if you open up your MetaMask in the top menu, you can actually see that they're advertising their new smart account features here, allowing you to upgrade so you can benefit from all of the new programmability that smart accounts bring. There's Ambire, which is another smart account wallet app. The Uniswap wallet is also really pushing this. So that's all happening. At the top of the rankings, you're seeing these things, Crime Enjoyer coming up. The unfortunate sort of trend that we're seeing where Wintermute did a bit of research and they found that what's happening is that there are a few hackers who are taking wallets that they'd already previously hacked in the past using other means, and they're upgrading them to smart accounts so that they can program them to be drained a lot easier. So this big brown block you can see here is the sort of the hacker activity. But as more legitimate wallets like the MetaMask and like Uniswap wallet start to promote their smart account features more, I'm expecting that legitimate usage to sort of overcome the illegitimate usage that we're seeing there. And Bundle Bear gets used by lots of different teams. Just opening up our GitHub, this was an issue that got opened last week by Adam, who's a VP at Polygon, and he was asking for us to add 7702 data on Polygon to the dashboard because he thought that analytics could be helpful to their team, and went ahead and got that added. So you can, for instance, see how many wallets on Polygon right now have been upgraded into smart accounts. And been working on this project for 2 years and excited to just keep helping folk who are building in the smart account ecosystem to get the insights that they need to make the best decisions that they can. And that's what we're working on.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing, Coffee. And already super cool to see all these insights. Like maybe a little bit unfortunate to see the crime enjoyers there, but it's regardless like a super cool insight to see with your tool. And I also remember I think 1 or 2 years ago, I seeing one of your talks about all the data that you analyzed about Safe. That was really, really cool. I think it was the first SafeCon. So amazing to see all the progress, and now it's something we all can use. So great to see. Paulo, do you want to go next?
Sure. So I'm Paulo, one of the 3 developers working in Blobscan, which is basically an explorer focused on blobs, the data structure that was introduced with the new short transactions back in EIP 4844 during DENCON hard fork. Basically, Blobscan originated as a hackathon project in 2023 in Bogota, and we were looking to develop like a tool that will facilitate and like the exploring and querying and monitoring of this type of new blob data across networks. which at the time there weren't any available ones. And yeah, since then, and with the huge help from different key ecosystem contributors, like Ethereum Foundation, Optimism, Gitcoin Grants, Scroll, Swarm, we managed to keep iterating over the Explorer with new development. And we were also working together with certain Ethereum DevOps teams, basically like to bridge the gap between this new type of data and like a UX that will show it in a more user-friendly way. And we were working like in the early devnets, and since then, well, basically, we try to focus Blobscan in addressing 3 core challenges or main problems that we see the blob ecosystem today. The first one, which is the blob interaction, like offering a tool that will easily allow you to interact with this blob data both through a web app or like a API. Also, like blob archiving. Blobs are temporal, so they get room after 18 days or more. And basically, we are not only want to offer like a centralized storage solution for the blobs, we also partner with, for example, Swarm or Load Network to archive blobs in their storage solutions. And we want to onboard other solutions as well to keep the blob availability as wide as possible. For example, Filecoin. And yeah, like the third one will be like roll-up blob discoverability. Basically, blobs are encoded, and we want to offer like a way to display or offer this decoded information to researchers or developers or anyone who is interested in interacting with this data. I can show you or the Explorer, 1 second. Screen. 1 second. Okay. Okay, now. Okay, this is the Explorer. As I said, it's focused entirely on blobs, so you only get to see like any blobs transactions or blobs transactions that contain blobs, and of course metrics and stats related to those transactions. And as I was saying, blobs are stored in different storages. The idea is to persist them in as many as possible to maintain the availability. For example, this one is like persisted in all 3 that I mentioned, Google Cloud as well. And it shows you which transactions this blob is was contained in. Yeah, and with the third pain point that I was talking about, we try to offer. We are working on offering like both a UI and also a API for you to retrieve these blobs in a decoded manner. For example, this is a StarkNet blob, and here you can see like the decoded information of that blob. In this case, are like the state changes that happen. And of course, each decoding it's completely specific to each blob. Right now, we only have support for like parts of the blobs from StarNet and Optimism, like early versions, but we're hoping to add fully support to them. This is like an example of Optimism one with specific Optimism data. And the second sub pain point in this category that I was talking about is like not only offer these blobs decoded, but also like offer like a dashboard specific focus on blob analytics. So to allow the user to have like a complete full insight on like trends, metrics, charts, time series, whatever. Here you can, the idea is because blobs are like such a foundational component of L2s today, we want to, of course, offer like a L2 oriented UI. So here you can filter by like specific L2s, and you can check the stats related to that one in particular in different time series, time frames, or like topics. Yeah, that will be like our main mission, and hopefully we can keep iterating over this and to add fully support to other like rollups out there, Starknet, Arbitrum, Scroll, and for users or anyone interested in to retrieve this information in a more friendly and decoded way. And yeah, of course, and keep increasing and the analytics dashboard with new metrics and new information that may be useful for any interested user. I think that will be pretty much it.
Thank you, Paulo. That was super good. And last but not least, let's check out Dosh from Block Scout.
Can you guys hear me well? 1, 2.
Yeah, perfect.
Everything's good now? Perfect. Okay. All right, everyone. I'm Dosh, part of the BD and growth team at Block Scout. I work in the ecosystem partnerships kind of side of things over at Block Scout, do campaign strategy, trying to get more projects working together. So all of you guys that are here right now, please hit me up. I have some great ideas already from seeing what you guys do that we can totally integrate you guys within our Explorers. So hit me up and we can do some really cool things. But let me just dive in here onto what we do. So sharing at least 2 monitors. So I have 4 monitors here. So give me a second here. I got to find the right window. Entire screen. Here we go. All right. I hope you guys can see what I see. Yep. It looks like
yes,
it.
sir.
Okay. So yeah, Block Scout, one of the few options out there that is a fully open source block explorer. If you haven't seen it today, this is kind of the main UI. It's essentially just like Etherscan. You can search up addresses, you can verify contracts, you can look at all the stats of what's happening on each chain. And the one cool thing that a lot of people don't know about is we actually have free APIs. So, and we have REST APIs as well. So not just a JSON RPC. So you can kind of pull data right here without having to index anything. So yeah, something super cool that no one really knows about. Full free API access up to 10 RPS. Just don't even need a key. Just go in there and start using it today. So yeah, if you're a developer, Block Scout will be your best friend very soon. Some other cool things I don't want to kind of get into because there's a lot of different components with everything that we do, but like I just want to highlight some of the new things that we've been working on in the last month or so. So one of the main ones is our new multi-chain explorer. So we're adding chains as we go, but essentially you can search up addresses. You can do all sorts of different things here. You can see what apps are available on each network. For example, let's just go to Ethereum and view the result. and you can go directly into the apps page on each different instance that we have available. And let me just do a little bit of a better example here. Just going to search my address up. So go like this, and you can see all the results of my addresses here and which chains I've been playing around with. You can see the tokens. Oh, no, you can't. Scratch that. It's fairly new. So if you can hit rewind on that when you're recording the video, that'd be great. But yeah, that's kind of the highlight of our newest kind of tool out there. As well as we built an MCP. A lot of people are building a lot of AI stuff out there. So we built an MCP specific to pull blockchain data. So what this does is it talks to AI, and you can essentially pull whatever you saw in our UI here. You can pull this into AI and do all sorts of different cool stuff. So if you're an AI builder and are looking to pull blockchain data, check out our Blockscout MCP on the MCP market, and start building it today. Now, don't ask me too much depth on this because I still haven't got it running on my end, but it's out there. If you already know what it is, feel free to use it. And another thing that is really cool again about developers and APIs is we use like a standard format for everything. So if you ever see a Blockscout Explorer out there on any network, you can essentially just change the front of the URL, and you can use the same API calls across any network. And you can check out some of the explorers here right now. So we have 649 results. There's about like 2,000 or so out there. We just haven't listed everything quite yet. But yeah, you can see all the explorers available for all kinds of networks that are EVM compatible. And there's a few non-EVM compatible ones as well, but those are a little bit more of a custom product that we work with some of the chains. That's a super brief on Blockscout. Happy to answer questions or dive into any part of the Explorer that might not have been super clear. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. And I just want to make one more thing clear. As everyone knows, that when you're providing indexing solutions, there is a lot of gigabytes and terabytes that need to be stored, and that costs a lot of money. So please donate to all these guys that you see on screen today. Terabytes are not cheap these days, especially when you have a lot of traffic. Please donate to anyone that is indexing blockchain data and providing that for free, especially if you're open source. Thank you. How do I stop sharing screen? Here we go.
Bravo, amazing. Thanks, Dosh, and love that last message. So, go there to Octant.app and make your donations for these amazing projects. It's they're doing really valuable work for the entire Ethereum ecosystem. So I'm super excited to been able to see all this live here with you all. And now I would love to shift gears into asking some questions and also invite the audience here. I see we have 130 people watching us to send us your questions as well. Feel free to put them there in the comments in the X broadcast, and we'll be reading them. If you have any questions for any of the teams or anything in particular you'd like to know, we're here to answer. All right, let me start by asking we've already seen, for example, like the crime smart accounts. I think that was a super interesting insight. So I want to expand this a little bit and see from each one of you, what are some of the most interesting insights that you've seen come out of your explorers, or that you're excited to see? Ben, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, so I guess the most interesting thing with getting circuit verifiers verified, a little redundant there, is that there's a lot of steps in the process of making like a ZK app with Circom. and with Noir, a little bit less Noir, but especially in Circom, there's a lot of places where people can introduce backdoors and things like that. Basically, if you are running a GOS16 circuit, which is like the most efficient, gas efficient one that Tornado Cash uses, Oxbow Privacy Pools uses. Basically, every ZK app uses a GOS16 verifier. And if you don't do a trusted setup that's publicly verified, like using the EF or the Ethereum privacy scaling potion system, you can create fake proofs, and you could get, if people have money in there, you could take their money. And it would just be like, oh, I don't know, I'm the developer. So that's like where I said earlier, where it said the random entropy setup from CircuitScan. If you actually use the potion from privacy scaling, it's a different check mark, and it is like a green check mark, and you can click and you go straight to the trusted setup. And so it's another just like way of seeing that, okay, this works. But then also, if you just have some verifier on Blockscan or Etherscan, and it's just the numbers that make up these elliptic curve equations, you can't tell any of the logic of the circuit. So when CircuitScan recompiles your source code and matches it against the verifier that's on chain, then you can just be sure that you can trust putting your money into this system, and it's not like somebody has some way to steal it from you. Because really, any ZK app that's not on CircuitScan, like, I personally wouldn't trust it. You wouldn't use, a DeFi app if you couldn't see the verified source code on a block explorer. Why would you use a ZK app if, they've got this opaque verifier that could really be doing anything? So having CircuitScan is really like, it's a necessary tool for people making ZK apps. There's not a lot of them yet, but hopefully more and more people are going to make them. Like the inspiration for CircuitScan was from Vitalik Buterin in last March in ETH Taipei. He was like, somebody needs to build this. And then like a few weeks ago in Prague, he's doing the same talk in front of the ETH Global welcome ceremony. He's like, oh yeah, somebody needs to build it. So I was like, no. And my phone blew up, and I actually caught him getting off stage, and I was like, oh, Vitalik, I built this thing. Your Ethereum Foundation funded me to build this thing. Please tell people, contribute to CircuitScan, instead of saying it doesn't exist. So I'm just trying to get the word out that this is like, people are excited about ZK, but there's a lot of kind of ways where it can go wrong, just like with, we learned, in the last 10 years with smart contracts.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vitalik, if you're hearing us, you heard it again. Please shill CircuitScan in the conferences.
Definitely.
No, it's actually super cool. Actually, what I'm realizing about this group that we have here is that it, like, you all are building tools that really kind of manifest the ethos of don't trust, verify. So that's super cool. To have all these tools available for anybody using the chain, just to verify that everything that's happening, it's happening correctly, or the ways it's happening. So that's amazing. Thanks for your answer, Ben. Coffee, want to go next? What are some interesting insights? I know I put you on the spot with a rather negative one, but I'm sure there are some more positive ones you can share.
Yeah, definitely positive ones. And, the negative stuff is good too. People need to know what's going on, regardless of whether or not it makes us look the best. I think that one of the more interesting insights you can see on BundleBear is insights around what apps people are using. So there's a page I didn't show in my demo where you can check out what smart contracts are being called by these smart accounts the most. And you can see how the user behavior is changing over time. Say, end of last year, there was a lot of usage around apps like Block Lords and Super Champs that were sort of like in the games category, using smart accounts to make it easier for their users to onboard and do stuff in the games. That was driving a lot of usage. And then this year, there's this huge spike in specifically ERC 4337 smart account usage from WorldChain. And that was happening because of earlier on this year, World App, which is like the default wallet for World Chain, decided to use ERC 4327 as their main way of bundling smart account transactions. So now, when I say smart accounts and 437, it might all sound very abstract, like how does this actually affect me? But if you've ever used the World App from World Chain, you're already using smart accounts, you're already using ERC 4327, and it's making your life easier. And you might not even have known what solution was in the back end. And with Bundle Bear and sort of the charts that we have, it makes it a lot easier to look at the trends and see what are people actually using smart accounts for, outside of all of this very theoretical talk of like, oh, it's great to improve Ethereum UX and all of these EIP numbers.
Cool. Yeah, thanks for sharing. I knew there was going to be some more positive stuff. I actually, one question for you as well, Coffee, as a parenthesis, because I mean, we see all the names like Circuitscan. It's a scanner for circuits. Blobscan is a scanner for blobs. Why Bundle Bear?
I don't know. I just thought that I like animal names. People like. Well, I'm a huge fan of DeFi Llama and CoinGecko, so I was like, oh, I'm also going to make a dashboard site. Just like the people I admire, I'm just going to throw an animal in there, like pick a bear. It's like bundles. You have all these smart accounts bundling their transactions, and so yeah, that's where the name came from.
Nice, I like that. Love the name. Yeah, I also love the animal names. We have a lot of mascots in the Web3 space. That's super cool. Thank you. Paulo, wanna go next? What are some of the more exciting insights that you've seen or that people can derive from your Explorer?
Yeah, as I was saying before, I think I will have to say the decoding feature, one of them, and also of course like as a public good project, we offer the API for free, and we have seen also a lot of activity of people retrieving blob data, mostly researchers, and that were interested in interacting with the data. And hopefully we get to see more of that. And also, as I was saying, maybe more fully comprehensive dashboard for analytics, so people can see trends more clearly and across time. And yeah, hopefully we get to iterate over those features heavier over the following months. Yeah, I think mostly those three. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Paulo. Dosh, wanna go next?
Yeah, sure. I can start off with the scams, since everyone's all about the negativity, because there's a lot of those out there. So first things first, Blockscout is fully open source, so people take the software and do whatever they want. Just because it's a big name out there and we work with a lot of big brands, doesn't mean that we necessarily know everyone or back the team by any means. So if you see Blockscout out there, it doesn't mean that everything's legit. It's kind of like saying it's Microsoft Word. People can use Microsoft Word however they want. Actually, I shouldn't mention them because they're not open source. Let's say Fileverse, for example, because they're open source. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a software out there. You use it, you do whatever you want with it. So yeah, if you see Blockscout out there, it doesn't mean much. Always check before diving into a chain. Like I said, there's thousands of chains out there. And yeah, just be very safe and make sure you know what you're getting yourself into. Now, more so on how people utilize our software. Yeah, it's been an explosive growth for Blockscout. We've been around for 7 years. We had like 2 chains for 3 of those, and then within the last 2 years, I would say, with like all the L2s and everything like that. It's crazy how many block scouts are out there now. Like I said, it's about 2,000 if you include all the rollup providers and everything like that. So yeah, it's explosive growth. And we have the ability to essentially spin up a chain within a couple of minutes these days, and have an explorer there ready to test and do new things. So we're seeing a lot of like the research teams. For example, Optimism is doing a lot of research on the omni-chain stuff. So like how like the interop, sorry, not omni-chain, the interop stuff. So they build like their own chain and how they can all interact with the OP stacks. So we're seeing a lot of cool stuff with how easy it is to, essentially spin something up, like go and make sure your chain's working, and then kind of iterate from there. So we're just seeing a lot of that. And of course, like how builders use, explorers it's kind of the same across the board when you're talking about like verifying contracts. But one cool thing that we have been working on kind of in the back burner with some of the big names out there like Sourceify and Tenderly and everything like that, is we're making this like verifier dashboard called Verifier Alliance. So anyone that's part of the Verifier Alliance uploads their contracts to this massive database. So all these contracts are not kind of isolated in everyone's kind of database. So like, for example, Blockscout has their own smart contract database, Tenderly has their own. So we're trying to make this like one unified place where, it's just contracts are there. You can go and check it out, and it's the same across the board. So yeah, doing a lot of cool stuff that way as well. But yeah, hopefully that answers the question. I steered off the topic a little bit, but yeah.
No, yeah, that's fantastic. Actually, we have at least one project that is doing formal verification for contracts as well. Like we had them on the live stream yesterday, Veriferium. Maybe you've heard about them. So maybe another opportunity for two Epoch 8 projects to collaborate. So thank you for that. And maybe let's expand, like let's ask the same sort of question to you guys, the rest of the teams here. What is it most useful for? Like, how are people using your tools? And yeah, maybe any tips to make the most out of your explorers? Let's start with Paulo this time.
Sure. So in Blobscan, we have, of course, like fully deployable infrastructure. We have Docker images and Helm charts that can help you to easily run and integrate Blobscan into your own infrastructure. We have an integration with Cortosis, so anyone that is interested, like developers or testers that want to like test complex Ethereum environment, they can integrate it easily. And yeah, there's a documentation site that tells you all about the configuration that you can set for your deployment, and hopefully will give you a lot of insight into like whatever you're trying to achieve or research related to Blobs.
Nice, thank you, Paulo. Coffee, you want to go next?
Yeah, unmuted. So there are two main ways that I see teams using Bundlebear at the minute. On the one hand, you have folk who are building in the smart account space. So they're building infrastructure, whether that's they have a wallet app that is using 7702, or they have a wallet app that's using 4337, or they're providing infrastructure, paymaster infrastructure to help apps sponsor users' gas fees and so on. You have all of these folk building infrastructure who basically want to be able to see how their metrics stack up against their competitors and against the whole of the market. And so we've seen teams like Circle and Alchemy and Pimlico and so on come to the Bundlebear GitHub repo and say, hey, here are labels for our smart contracts. because we want our service to show up in the dashboard so that we can see how our numbers are doing and also how our numbers compare to everybody else. So yeah, just giving everybody building in the space an open view of their performance and how their performance stacks up against other folk who are building. And then of course, the second level is that there are folk on the chain level. So say the team at Polygon or at Base or at the Ethereum Foundation who are interested in improving user experience for their users. And so they care about smart accounts and they want that top-down view of, hey, how much are smart accounts actually being used in my chain or in my ecosystem? Is there growth happening and where is the growth coming from? What are people doing and all of that? So yeah, those are sort of the two main ways that I see folk using the dashboard. And definitely if you're building in the space, whether that's in using 7702 or using 4337, please come to the BundleBear GitHub and be a contributor, label your contract addresses and so on so that we can represent you in the fullest and most accurate light.
Amazing. Thank you, Coffee. Ben, do you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So like in addition to users of ZK apps, for developers, CircuitScan offers a lot of benefits. Like generating a proof for a circuit is a lot less memory intensive than compilation. In order to compile a circuit, it requires like 10 times as much memory. So like for Kevin with his Worm project, he doesn't have a computer with 150 gigabytes of memory on it where he can just compile these things on his own machine. He would have to set up his own cloud servers and all this, whereas he can instead use CircuitScan and just run one command. It boots up a cloud server, and I actually got it set up. You can do 1,536 gigabytes of RAM if you actually need that, but I can't imagine anybody will need that. So you can extend your development into bigger circuits, and you can do more complex things that you wouldn't be able to do just on your local machine. So having that ability for developers is just a huge advancement, because just even getting Snark.js scripts set up is a big deal. And like I also contribute to a open source project called Circom Kit, which is like a testing framework for Circom. And every circuit that gets verified on CircuitScan gets integrated into a zip file that has Circom Kit built in, so you can download the zip package, and it has like, you just import it into your JavaScript or TypeScript project, and then there's like a prove function and a verify function if you want to just build an app really quick. It cuts out a lot of the steps and trying to figure out how do glue everything together. So it's just really streamlines ZK development.
Nice. Love to see that, especially now with the CK heavy roadmap that we have for Ethereum. I think it's gonna be super, super important. So very cool to see tools like this. And maybe we're coming almost to the end. So let's use the final almost 10 minutes to give maybe some future prospects for your tools, and if you would like also to give final message to close the live stream, that would be awesome. Coffee, do you want to start this time?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and start. In terms of future outlook, I'm really excited to see, as I was saying, the usage of EIP 7702 really grow and to show that on the dashboard. I think that, every major wallet app out there, whether that's MetaMask or, competitors to MetaMask, Coinbase wallets, and so on, are all looking at smart accounts and how smart accounts can be used to deliver a better user experience. And 7702 is a great way to bring everybody who's in the current ecosystem up to that new level of user experience. So super excited to see that grow. Super excited to see more teams contributing labels of their infrastructure to BundleBear so that I can show those numbers the best that I can. And I think that smart accounts are the future. And in 5 years from now, nobody should be using a regular EOA wallet. We should all be benefiting from the advantages of them. No more approve and swap. It should all just be one click. People don't need to pay gas fees if they don't want to. They can get everything sponsored. And yeah, that's the future that I'm excited to see.
Nice. Thank you, Coffee. Yeah. And maybe like, I think I heard this somewhere that originally the goal was to have pretty much not off the bat, but like quite early on, smart accounts for everybody using Ethereum. But it was like the speed of adoption that kind of brought us EOAs for people to use. Is this true?
I mean, there's like a long history, right? Because the idea of smart accounts is not new, in the Ethereum ecosystem at all. I mean, people have been talking about this forever. I mean, Gnosis obviously popularized the first big smart account solution with Safe all of these years ago. And so people have wanted, native account abstraction and native smart accounts and more smart accounts adoption in Ethereum for a long time. But we had barriers before of like it being more expensive to use smart accounts because Ethereum used to be super expensive. Now that's been solved with L2s. We had the problem of people working on many different types of solutions. So there's Safe here and there's Argent here, and none of these things are really compatible. So how can you build on top? And that's the problem that the standards are fixing. So I think that the idea's been around for a long time and the intention's been around for a long time. But I think that we're in the perfect point in the timeline now for smart accounts to really take off with the cheapness of L2s and with the standards that we currently have.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see that. And I'm actually curious. This just made me think that how delayed, or even like if it would have happened at all, if the L2 scaling roadmap, if like smart accounts happened earlier, because the main reason for doing this was to make transactions cheaper. So if the projects or the protocols were paying for the users, I mean, eventually it would become unpayable, I guess. So that's when the L2s would come. But I wonder like what the timeline looks in a parallel universe where account abstraction came before the L2 scaling roadmap. Maybe a question for a future live stream. Cool. Let's move on to Dosh.
Sorry, I forgot the question there, but I was focused on the smart accounts because
sorry. We
I'm excited about UX being fixed.
Yeah, no. The last question, just some words of closure and like future outlook for Block Scout. Just that.
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I just want to make note is whoever's creating free tools and essentially public goods is what's driving our whole space forward. It's kind of the ethos of Ethereum. So whenever you see open source projects, try to support them as much as you can. Even a like on Twitter goes a very long way. Whenever you see us, try to be as positive and helpful as possible. It takes a lot to keep the lights on, especially when Ethereum archive node is 22 terabytes these days. Imagine how many chains are out there that essentially require builders like the ones here today to store the data, to show the data, and do everything pretty much for free. So we want to keep everything free. We want to drive the space forward and make innovation happen. And without public goods, it's very, very hard to do it, right? So please support all the projects that you see on Octant. It means a lot to everyone here. And that's my closing argument. Oh, I think we lost our host. All right. So Ben, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. Thanks. Okay. So I guess, in the future for CircuitScan, I just hope that it kind of becomes, common knowledge among Ethereum people that ZK apps have very different security guarantees And it's very important to kind of have the same tooling that we've come to expect for normal smart contracts for ZK projects. And I hope that, we see the list of ZK apps go from like a handful to hundreds and thousands as more people realize that you can build private things on a public blockchain. And I guess that's kind of what I see for the future. And hopefully, yeah, open source, keep it going. It's definitely always interesting to see, but hopefully the grants keep coming and keep getting AWS credits so I can pay for this.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. And yeah, privacy is always a good thing, especially on, blockchains. Oh, Nick's back. All right. So we'll stop being the host. You guys.
Appreciate you, man. Sometimes we blame Elon for when the Twitter spaces are down, but sometimes it's our own internet. This time I don't have anyone to blame but myself, I guess, or the internet provider. So thanks for stepping up. I'm sorry to I missed yours, but I'm gonna listen to the recording. I'm really curious to hear what's next for Block Scout. But Ben, did you talk about your last closing words and future for
Yeah.
Circuit Scan? Already did? Okay.
Josh kind of led it on to me, so we got Paulo now.
Cool. Damn, I'm gonna watch yours as well. But Paulo, please.
Sure. No, first of all, thank you for having me. Thank you for, we're so grateful to be in this round and for me to talk on this live stream and to meet you all. We're also pretty excited about the blob space and what's incoming, and hopefully we can offer a tool that provides usefulness and it may result I don't know, like useful for anyone interested on it. And also yes, keep promoting public goods, keep promoting open source projects, and yeah, thank you so much.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody, for coming on. I think we made a perfect timing. We're on top of the hour, and this was super fun. So really appreciate you for coming. And we encourage everyone who's watching and beyond to vote for these amazing projects in the Octant Epoch 8 allocation window. You've heard all the value that they're providing to the ecosystem, so definitely deserve it. And yes, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for listening. And see you around on some of the next activities. On Tuesday, we will have a Dragon's Den, that is a trivia where we're going to ask project-related questions, and they're going to get a chance to pitch a little bit as well. And you might win some GLM tokens if you're in the top 3. So excited for that as well, and looking forward to see you again. Good luck in the round. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.